Welcome back to 33-year-old boomer ranting in the snowy, chilly woods. If the algorithm has shown you this video, this is a sign. Because I want to save your life. Let's talk about it. If you've been paying attention for the past few decades, things have been getting steadily worse. And we're at a point where things are about as bad as they've been for a very long time. It appears that the timeline is heading in a very dark direction. There are wars happening. There's automation replacing people potentially. Who knows? Maybe not. There's the AI bubble currently poised to pop. People are getting fired. It's just not very good. Everything's expensive. You can't afford a house, even though you were told you could if you went to uni, but that didn't happen. And the best thing about it is that there's nothing that you can do to change it. However, that does not prevent you from leading a happy life. Here's what I'm talking about. You see, there are many things that you simply do not have control over. However, there is one thing that you do have control over, and that is your mind. And even though you do not have root access to your mind, you get to decide how you interpret reality. Reality does not exist. It exists entirely in your mind. It is simply a construct of your imagination. And so, you get to decide how you interpret the things that happen to you. For example, you can interpret something bad happening to you as a neutral thing. Because, of course, if you lose a part of your income, for example, you can say that is bad. However, that is not bad to someone else. If you tell a random stranger, hey, I lost part of my income, is that bad? They might agree with you just to make you feel better, but they don't really care. It doesn't actually, that reality or that notion is not part of their own reality. They do not believe that you losing a part of your income is a bad thing. But if they were to lose a part of their income, it would be a bad thing. And even though you often don't have control as to whether you lose a part of your income or all of your income, what you do have control over is how you interpret that event. Back in 2016, I was in a job that the job was fine. It was just someone at that job was trying to push me out. Typically, whenever a new manager comes in, they want to push people out. They want to bring their own people in. And that made me a very unhappy bunny for a long time. Sometimes managers can be really good at doing this. I don't want to go too much into this, but it was a very hard time, and I was trying desperately to become a freelancer. I wanted to get out of that place. And there was a period where that just seemed to be very unlikely. 9 years later now, that seemed almost, looking back, it seems almost inevitable that would have happened. But at the time, it did not seem like that. And I was in a very dark place for quite some time. And the thing that saved me was a book, specifically the Enchiridion of Epictetus, which is like one of the first books on Stoicism, essentially. It's about 2,000 years old. I have a link down below to a GitHub repo where I mog you with a number of books that I've read, some of which are on Stoicism. If something happens that you would naturally interpret as bad, it is up to you to decide whether that thing is a good thing or a bad thing. And I know it doesn't feel like that. I know that your mind is screaming at you right now, saying, no, this neckbeard on your screen is wrong. He just doesn't understand. Oh, I get it. I've had a very hard life, let's just put it that way. And I decide to be happy. I don't want to get too off topic. So why would you let something as important as your happiness, as your fulfillment, to chance? What, you wanna let your boss decide whether you feel happy or not based on whether you get a job or not that you like or that you really want? Is that what you want to do? Do you want to leave that to a stranger to decide whether they want to bless you with happiness and fulfillment or not? I think it's a pretty bad idea if you ask me, because you are entirely at the hand of these people. Because whether they give you that job that you want, whether YouTube makes you famous influencer, whether you make a lot of money, whether you get to have a family with a beautiful wife. I say wife because there's like 2 girls watching this channel. Hello. You get to decide whether you're happy or not. You do not allow externals to decide that for you. Let me give you an example. Let's just get this to be really ridiculous. There we go. Is this a good POV for vlogging? So I'm out on a walk right now. It's -4 Celsius. I'm actually quite enjoying this. I'm wearing shorts. I'm not going to show you. There's a lot of freaks in this watching this channel. I'm not going to show you my legs. And I came across a recycling bin. One of those big, ugly plastic recycling. They're not even metal. They're just plastic recycling bins. And as I walked past it, here's a video of it happening. I noticed how beautiful the light was shining onto it. And I spent about 3 minutes looking at this. I was just entranced with how beautiful the snow looked on this ugly piece of industrial, on this ugly bit of industrialization. You see, some people would see just something ugly. But what I see is nature trying to beautify industry. I choose to see beauty, whereas others would go, oh, it's so ugly, oh. You get to choose what is beautiful. You get to see what you want to see. It's your brain. It belongs to you alone. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you get to decide to be happy or sad. It's up to you. If you make that decision, if you decide to be happy, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what happens to the world. You can see the snow right now. This is beautiful. It doesn't matter what happens with AI. It doesn't matter what happens with AGI. It doesn't matter what happens with anything. You get to decide whether you are going to be happy and have a fulfilling life, or whether you outsource that to other people who will forever and always use that in their favor and not yours. Choose to be happy. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. It's a little bit cold. Whew. This is perfect weather for shorts.